उम्मीद क्या होता है? उम्मीद क्या होता है?
A very good afternoon to all the guests who have joined, and we are waiting for some more guests. They will be joining within a very short while. Sumit sir, shall
Shall
we
we
wait
wait
for the other guests
the
to
other
join?
guests to join, sir?
Good afternoon, sir. So, Damanam, can we start now or should we wait for some time?
Yes, sir, we are. So, a very good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the eminent guests in this event for the launch of the Placement Brochure 2022. I would like to welcome our Vice Chancellor, Professor O.R.S. Rao, sir, our Registrar, Professor Arvind Kumar, sir, the head of the departments, faculties, and the students. My special welcome to our guests of honor, Mr. Shubham Tripathi, Senior Human Resource Manager, Human Research Manager, Z Media Corporation Limited, Noida. Mr. Ishu Kumar, Senior Manager, Talent Acquisition at V-Mart Retail, Gurgaon. Mr. Vishal Kumar Sinha, Area Business Manager, Pantaloons, Kolkata. Mr. Santosh Singh, HR Head, InterZ Bank, Kolkata. Mr. Mayank Bajpayee, HR Plant Head, Panasonic Energy India Limited, Indore. Mr. Anurag Kirti, Senior Manager, Talent Acquisition, Wipro, Bhubaneswar. Mr. Sumit Suri, Director, Omni Group, Bhopal. Mr. Tanik Thakur, HR Manager, E-Shakti Com Private Limited, Noida. Ms. Rita Sarangi, HR Head from Samadhan, India. And I would also like to extend my warm welcome to our special guests who have been the alumni of Dekfa University, Jharkhand. So we are privileged enough to have these special guests also with us. Mr. Abhinav Sinha, the Operation Executive, Jharkhand and Odisha. Mr. Kaushal Singh, Territory Manager, Hero Motor Group, Bhubaneswar. Mr. Chandan Kumar, Key Account Executive, Hindustan Unilever. Mrs. Simran Verma, Tech Mahindra, Executive Assistant to CEO and MD, Pune. Mr. Shubham Kumar, Developer TransUnion Global Technology Center, Pune. Mr. Rishi Raj, TCS Chennai. I would like to welcome all the guests who have spared their time to come to this very special occasion of the placement launch and placement brochure launch. And as you all are aware that the placements play a very important life in a student's life. So every student is much of concerned about how to get good placement. So this placement brochure will give an insight to the industry experts, to the corporates of the various students that are available in the university. So I would like to request our Vice Chancellor, Professor O.R.S. Rao, sir, to please deliver the welcome address.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sweta Singh. Mr. Shubham Tripathi, Senior HR Manager, G Media. Mr. Ishu Kumar, Senior Manager, Talent Acquisition, V-Mart Retail. Mr. Vishal Kumar Sinha, the Area Business Manager, Pantaloons. Mr. Santosh Singh, HR Head, IndusInd Bank. Mr. Mayank Bajpai, HR Plant Head for the Panasonic Energy. Mr. Anurag, HR Head of Wipro Bhubaneswar. Mr. Sumit Singh, Director, Omni Group in Bhopal. Mr. Tanishk Thakur, HR Manager, eShakti, and all the special guests that are, our privileged, we are privileged to have our, the alumni who have done very well for themselves, and, it's a matter of pride for all of us. That is, Rishi Raj, who is with the TCS, Mr. Kaushal Kumar Singh with the Hero Motor, and Chandan Kumar, with the Hindustan Unilever. Simran Verma, she has gone to IIM Jammu, and after that she joined Tech Mahindra. And Shubham Kumar Singh, he is the developer, TransUnion Global Technology. And Mr. Abhinav Sinha, Operations Executive from the Extra Marks. Sort of all of them, my hearty welcome to all of you to today's event. More than the placement brochure, what I thought is that today's the context is, in the last about 1.5 years, the COVID has caused havoc to the economy, to the industry, and to the organizations all over the world, and also in India. We are no exception. And the entire, the industry got affected, so much so that some of the industries like, aviation and, aviation, tourism, for that matter, hospitality businesses, sort of they have gone through very, very kind of a bad phase. Some of them had to close down. And the consumer sentiment got affected because of, the loss of, sort of sometimes people lost jobs and the salaries have come down. But now the good thing is, now with the COVID-19 abating away, of course, people talk of Omicron, but Omicron, sort of, it's not, doesn't have so much of a kind of a problem as earlier from various reports what we are hearing. But what we could see is in the last 2 quarters, the economy is coming back. We can see very perceptible signs of, the economy kind of, growth. And so much so the GST, what they call, the collections, have been record. They have sort of crossed 1 lakh crores per month, and now they are reaching the pre-pandemic kind of, the levels. And with this, what we have seen is, the industry is also recovering. And we are seeing that, the 2021, we have seen, some recovery with regard to the employment. More and more employment has happened. And particularly if you look at industries like IT, what I'm told is the last quarter alone, the IT industry has recruited about 50,000 people. And, most of them are freshers, and they are looking for, the kind of, lateral shifts also. So likewise, we are seeing that all the industries, we are seeing a buoyancy with regard to the kind of, the recruitment and the employment. So essentially what we thought is, today's event is, like we thought that today, sort of we gathered the galaxy of, HR managers, and the very senior people coming from a range of industries, starting with manufacturing like, Hero Honda or Panasonic Energy. And similarly, we got in the service industries, like banking, IndusInd Bank, and similarly from the services, IT services like, Wipro, TCS, and, sort of a real estate, retail, a range of sectors, we are fortunate today, we are having, the speakers coming from there. So my request to all the galaxy of speakers is, to share their thoughts on what are the kind of employment trends post-COVID-19, and particularly for the fresh graduates. Because, this year, a lot of our fresh graduates will be passing out in 2022. And our university, we offers programs, in faculty management studies, where we have got a BCom, BBA, and MBA. Similarly, we have got a faculty of science and technology. We have got a BTech. BTech we have got, in 3 branches. That is mechanical, mining, and computer science. And likewise, we also got a political program which is called as a diploma in technology. There again, same branches. Then we got a BCA, MCA, and we also got a faculty of law while we run the programs of integrated BBA, LLB, and LLB. This year, 2022, our LLB students are passing out. In fact, this is the second batch that is passing out. And my request to all of you is, if you can brief our students, not only students and all of us, including the faculty members, as to like, in fact, what are the employment trends that you are seeing and what is the industry that is looking for in the fresh graduates. And we request you to give, a piece of advice to our students on what they can aspire for and, how they can prepare themselves. So that is the request to all the industry veterans that have come. And as far as our alumni are concerned, all these alumni, they have been our students earlier. And they have gone through similar challenges in terms of getting the first job. Initially, everybody has got a sapna. वो सपना को हासिल करने में कभी कभी सड़क इतने चुनौतियां होते रहते हैं, but they have sort of seen and how that has happened into that. So that is something that particularly the first job for most of us, in fact, we go through something like the aspirations versus the reality. So initially, all of us, we imagine ourselves, like some of the kind of heroes, in sort of Hindi films, and but later we come down to the realities and start seeing that, oh, ये तो हकीकत होती है. इसको लेके हम तो, yes, after all, I have to start my job, with something like hands-on work, and before I move into a revolving chair and become the CEO. So these are the kind of things all of our alumni would have seen. So we request our alumni also to share their thoughts as to sort of what has been their experience and what is the piece of advice for the students. So with these few words, my hearty welcome to all the distinguished veterans from the industry, and also welcome back to our distinguished alumni, and also all of our faculty members, and very importantly, all the students that are graduating in 2022 from various programs. So now over to Dr. Swata Singh.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inaugural address. I would like to tell the audience that the flow of the program would be that firstly, the experts from the industry or from the corporate will address the gathering. Then we will have the launch of the placement brochure. Then our special guests will also address the students. And then we can have a question answer session with the experts itself. So I would like to extend the session by calling Mr. Ishu Kumar, the Senior Manager from Talent Acquisition at V-Mart Retail, Gurgaon, to please address the gathering.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Am I
Yes,
audible,
sir.
sir?
Yes, Mr. Ishu Kumar. Yes.
Thank you
You are
so much.
audible,
Thank you
sir.
so much. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to be the part of that ICFI campus placement. We have been associated with a lot of campuses like Doon colleges there, then Kejriwal is there, IFCAI is one of them actually. So we are looking forward long-term association with ICFAI campus. We have a plan to come over there on 20th of this 22nd of this month. So we are connecting already with Mr. Sumit China, very nice person, very down to earth person. He's very approachable and very supportive in terms of whenever we do required candidates for summer internship as well as for our other projects on special projects. So a lot of students are completing their projects with VMAT Retail Limited, and we look forward long-term association with them. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting us.
Mr. Ishu Kumar, my request is, if you can share with our students, from the retail industry, sort of what is that you are looking for and what is the piece of advice for our students?
For from students actually, we do hire students who has a positive energy, who want to build their career in retail extreme. Actually, retail is moving right now actually. So we do have ample requirements in our stores as well as our corporate office. We have a volume requirement in stores actually. For corporate requirement, if we talk about, there would be approx 5 to 10 requirements at that level, at corporate level. But for if we talk about that stores, We are having 376 stores. We have national presence. We have recently take over unlimited stores of Arvind brand. We are having 376 stores pan India. So the students, if we talk about the requirement, that is as much as you can give us actually. We have a huge requirement for that for students actually. So all of them are most welcome, but they have to show their potential. They should be willing to work in retail sector. In retail, because if they will start their career in retail, there could be some challenges they might face actually. So this is the time then students have to show their adaptability, that they are ready to work hard, and they have a potential. They want to build their career in retail only. So these would be the three things I would require from the students, and the rest all we have our own capability team. They are working on it, and they will deliver their them training how to work in retail sector from the scratch point. But the students must have to show their willingness to work in retail, because in retail there is no off. 24 into 7 they have to work actually. In retail industry they will be getting like one off, but that would not be on weekend. Every festive they would be away from their house. So retail team and their store team, they will that will be their family actually. They will be celebrating every festive with them only. So lot of sacrifice are there actually, to be very frank. So they should be mentally prepared for that all the sacrifice. Yes, at the highest designation, once they will promote themselves, and once they will be getting their good career opportunity, there would be a time when they will be celebrating their festive with their family. But for reaching that level, they would have to sacrifice much actually. Am I
Thank
clear,
you.
sir?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
That's a
Ishu.
very nice practical advice to our students, to that. Yeah.
Yes,
Like I said,
actually.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
so much, sir.
yes, and that has been rightly emphasized by sir also, that it is really a demanding job and you will have to make sacrifices at certain point of time. So moving forward, I would like to call Mr. Vishal Kumar Sinha, the area business manager from Pantaloons, Kolkata, to please address the gathering.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hope I'm audible.
Yes,
If
sir, you
anyone
are
can
audible.
confirm.
Yes, sir,
Okay, thanks a
audible.
lot. Thank you. So, very rightly put up by Professor Rao, that this third wave, what we are looking at, is actually it should not bother us much. And that doesn't mean that we should lower down our guards. So we need to be careful, and yes, we need to plan ahead. Also, rightly pointed out by Mr. Ishu from VMART that retail itself is not very easy. And in today's time, I would say that you join any organization, things won't be that easy, because you have to cover up the laws that we made in the year 2020, 1920. So it's very important that how we look at the scenario. So my perspective to this would be that are we better prepared from last time when we first faced this pandemic? I would say yes. Are we better prepared in terms of infra? I would say definitely yes. India has improved a lot in terms of readiness in medical infrastructure. Uh, Almost entire population getting vaccinated. That's again a very good thing. So these are a few of the positives what we should look at, and we should not be bothered much, uh, and should not be too much should not have a negative approach towards this third wave. As such, I'm presuming that this should not impact us in any manner, I would say. But yes, we should nevertheless should lower down our guards. We should ensure that each and everyone should take utmost precaution to stay safe. That's about how I see this third wave and how it would impact business. If I talk about the business performance in most of the organization, so we being from retail, for us, Durga Puja time, then Diwali, Chhat, and the winter season is very important for us. And we performed very good. The recovery was very good, and it was as per what we expected. So it's a very positive signal that once people are getting vaccinated, once the medical infra is there, so the doubt and the hesitation in mind of people of not coming out, that got somewhere eradicated, and we saw very good footfall in our stores. And if I talk about industry as a whole, almost all the industry, barring one or two, they recovered with a very fast pace, and they are continuing to do it. And I'm very sure that this year, when they close in the March, so all the industry would be on a like positive trend. So this is about how industry is has performed during festive time. And if I look at current trend, wedding season, which is again very big, it's a kind of festival in India. So last 1.5 years, we have seen that marriages being either postponed, or if it's happened also, it happened in a very minimal scale, and very lesser number of guests were invited. This in fact resulted in most of the, like, it hit a few of the industries very badly, especially industries like ours which depend upon wedding season. So we had very less footfall coming to our stores for wedding shopping, so that impacted it. But this year, what we are seeing that weddings are there. India will be witnessing around 25 lakhs of wedding this financial year, which is a huge number. And to add to it, people are celebrating it. They are inviting their guests, and when people have to go and attend wedding, definitely they'll buy. And then the gifting season is also there. Christmas and New Year being a kind of gifting season. So we again hope that this will impact the industry in a very positive way. Another important thing that I would like to share in terms of opportunities is that people have started going out of their home, and the vacation that they maybe they postponed for a year or so, now they are out. They are going to various holiday destinations, and that again is impacting a lot of industries in a very positive way. Maybe hospitality industry, or industries like us, because when you travel to hill station, you need to have winter wears with you, right? So customers would definitely come to us to shop for that. So that again gives us a very positive thing that yes, when people are coming out of their houses, they will definitely shop. And that has we have seen that the sale throughs of winter wear has been very high. So positive indications in terms of how market is reacting. If we look at globally, almost all the industries have started recovering on a very faster trend, and most of them have started posting growth also positive. So these are a few of the things which I think is very positive. And when industry does good business, right, so what happens that they create more opportunities for everyone. When you expand your business, you need people to run it. So for last 1.5 years, what we have seen that we were not getting properties, ready properties to open our stores. And it got hampered because the laborers were not available. There were restrictions in terms of working hours. Then the cash flow was very low. So what happened that the properties were not available. Now what we see, there is a just reverse trend. Now properties are available. Uh, all the retailers, they are approaching the developers, and they are also getting a lot of franchisees. So, in terms of expansion of business, yes, it's on track, and we are also planning to open uh, around 100 stores this year. So that's how we have chalked out our growth, and we look at that in a way that we need people for that. To run a store, we need around 60 to 70 hands, and we have been visiting Management Institute, and we have hired a lot of students this time from the campuses. And uh, I would really thank all the institute who have made the students ready for this, because what happens that during a pandemic, when you conduct classes on online platform, it's very difficult to, first of all, to have proper engagement. Second thing is that the mode of teaching is on a virtual platform, which again is very difficult. Then how you conduct the seminars and also the assignments, so everything was so much limited and so much restricted. But in spite of that, when we interviewed the candidates, we found that they were actually ready, and they actually have made themselves ready for the industries. So that's the best thing what I see in the current scenario. And coming to advice, what the new batch or the students who would be looking for placement. So my first advice would be, and a very practical one, which Mr. Ishu also it's like if you hope I'm audible. I lost my connection for some
No, no,
time.
it's okay. Now it's
You
all
are
right.
Okay, so I was talking about how one should prepare themselves for the interviews for the campus selection. It's very important to understand that campus selection, when any industry come to your campus, it's very important first to select which industry I want to work in. It should not happen that without any choice, just to get a job, you sit for a company and then you get a job also, but later on you regret because your compatibility, your skills doesn't match with that particular role, and then you quit maybe after 5 6 months. So that should be first of all avoided. Once you get into a job, you should ensure that first 6 months you should learn, and you should ensure that you are ready to take all the hard work and all the challenges. One should not run away from responsibilities and should avoid, and this should be there in each and every student's mind, that I'm not going to get a chair, a desk and a system to work upon. It's not like that. In the real world, it's all about how you are ready to take up challenges, ready to visit market, attend customers, ensure that you resolve the queries of your team and you support your team. So that would be my first advice. Second advice would be that one should ensure that you should become a people manager. If you are joining an IT industry, it's almost okay that you are almost working on a system and you're working on a project. So that's okay. But if you are on the field and if you are working with people, you should be a very good people manager. And that is one skill that everyone should try to acquire. If your people, if you can take care of your people, then only you can ensure that your business grows. Otherwise it will not happen. You might push your people, you might put a lot of pressure on them, you might ill treat them to get some kind of job done, but that would not happen for a longer period of time. So if you are working with people, with manforce, you need to understand that you need to treat them properly, you need to train them, and you need to ensure that you respect them. Until you do that, you won't be able to succeed. And my last advice would be that don't quit immediately once you join, or maybe after 6 months when you join the organization. Avoid doing all those kind of stuff. People try to grab another job maybe after 6 months or 1 year of their job in any of the company, and what happens that they get a slighter hike and then they move. But after again 5 6 months, they try to find out something else because they are not satisfied with their work. So what happens that your CV would become like you are a constant hopper, and it won't look good to any of the senior HR manager. If he sees your CV, he would understand that you are a frequent hopper and you won't stay with any of the organization. So stay loyal. That hello, yeah, and if you see that your career is on a growth trajectory, please stick to the company. Don't just go with the salary or the package. You look at your career with a broader prospect. You're not here to work only for 2 3 years, but you have to work for at least 35 40 years. So how you plan your career is very important. Initial years, if you earn less also, it's okay, but learn what you're doing. Learn how to build a team, learn how your business is performing. You need to learn all these things in initial 1 or 2 years, and then you take a call whether you need to shift your the company or not. If you see your career in the same organization and you see that you can grow, need not switch. If you're getting a very good package with a hike with maybe a upgradation in the role, you can decide. But initial 2 years, stick with the company and keep learning, keep giving your best, and ensure that at any point of time you should not relax, neither you should start taking things for granted that it's almost 2 years now, I should shift. That's not the thing. If you're working with a very good company which is growing and you see your career also growing, stick to the company and work hard. So these would be my few of the advices which I would like to give to the students who would be joining the organization or would have already joined. So look into those aspects. Rest, I think the market is positive. each and every industry is growing, and I'm very sure that each and every student at ICFI will definitely get placed, and they would do wonders wherever they join. So thank you so much. That's from my side.
Thank you so much, Vishal sir, for giving such useful tips to the students. And has rightly been pointed by you that so much hiring is going to come up. So definitely we need to train up the students so that they can gear up and get their get them placed in good companies. Thank you so much. Now
you.
I would like to invite Mr. Sumit Suri, the director from Omni Group Bhopal, to kindly address the gathering. Please, Sumit sir.
नमस्कार मैम। मैं सभी फैकल्टीज को, स्टूडेंट्स को और मेरे साथ जो जितने भी प्रबुद्धजन जुड़े हैं सभी को प्रणाम करता हूं। और पहले करेक्ट करता हूं मैम कि मैं ओमनी ग्रुप इंदौर से हूं, और इंदौर में हूं तो भोपाल बोले थे। तो मैं इंदौर में हूं, हमारा ओमनी ग्रुप इज एस्टैब्लिश्ड एट इंदौर। आज हम लोग चूंकि कैरियर के ऊपर डिस्कस करने के लिए चर्चा कर रहे हैं, वी आर हियर for the launch of a brochure which is related to the career of students. So basically my first message to the students would be कि one has to select a career for which the student or an individual is passionate. आपका जिसमें पैशन हो, जो आप करना चाहते हैं, उसको आपके कैरियर के रूप में सिलेक्ट करने की कोशिश करें। और खाली इसलिए नहीं कि कोई सफल व्यक्ति किसी और कैरियर में सफल हो गया तो आप उसको कॉपी करने के लिए कोशिश करेंगे, क्योंकि कॉपी करके आप सिर्फ कॉपी ही कर पाएंगे किसी चीज को। आपके अंदर हो सकता है उससे ज्यादा पोटेंशियल हो। तो जो चीज आपको अट्रैक्ट करती है, जो आपका पहला चॉइस बनती है, उस चीज के ऊपर जाकर के कैरियर सिलेक्ट करना चाहिए। और जो भी फिर आप सिलेक्ट करें उसमें कंसिस्टेंट रहें। किसी भी चीज को बहुत जल्दी छोड़ देना या जल्दी से किसी भी पार्ट के ऊपर से हमारा ध्यान हट जाए या सफलता नहीं मिलने के ऊपर बहुत जल्दी हार मान जाना, उस चीज को बच्चे जरूर सिलेक्ट करें। हमारे जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो यहाँ से निकल करके जाएंगे, तो कोई भी कैरियर सिलेक्ट करने से पहले 10 बार सोच लें आप उसके लिए पैशनेट हैं, यू रियली वांट टू वर्क इन दैट स्ट्रीम, इन दैट फील्ड, तो उसको सिलेक्ट करें। इट शुड नॉट बी अ वेरी शॉर्ट टर्म विजन, कोई छोटी मोटी ल्यूक्रेटिव सी या फैंसी सी चीज हो जिसकी वजह से आप उसमें अट्रैक्ट हो रहे हैं, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए। दूसरा, जो भी सिलेक्ट करें उसमें कंसिस्टेंट बने रहें आप, बिकॉज देयर इज नो सब्स्टिट्यूट टू द हार्ड वर्क। अल्टीमेटली क्रिकेट का खिलाड़ी बनना है तो क्रिकेट खेल के ही क्रिकेट का खिलाड़ी बनाया जा सकता है। फुटबॉल खेल के मैं क्रिकेट का प्लेयर नहीं बन पाऊंगा। तो कोशिश ये करी जाए कि जो भी आप करना चाह रहे हैं, जो बच्चे जो भी करना चाह रहे हैं, वो अपनी तरफ से पूरा सोच समझ के, क्योंकि आपके गुरु जो दिख नहीं रहे हैं आपके पीछे सफल हो जाने के बाद, या जितने मेरे साथ स्पीकर्स हैं, इन लोगों के पीछे भी जो इनके गुरु होंगे, जो लोग बैठ करके जिन्होंने सफलता दी होगी, आपके माता पिता, सबकी मेहनत, सबका रिफ्लेक्शन अल्टीमेटली आपके अंदर दिखेगा। और आपकी सफलता आपकी दिखेगी पर पीछे इन लोगों का रहेगा। और असफल होने पे इन लोगों को, और हाँ, जो जितने भी आपके परिवार के जन हैं या गुरु हैं, सबको उसका खामियाजा भुगतना पड़ता है खराब नाम की वजह से। तो हम सब लोगों की इज्जत, सारी चीजें आप स्टूडेंट्स के हाथ में रहती है, आप उसको आगे बढ़ाएं, ऐसी मेरी कामना है। दूसरा, रह गई बात हम प्लेसमेंट्स की करते हैं, तो मैं होटल एंड रेस्टोरेंट एसोसिएशन ऑफ वेस्टर्न इंडिया का मध्य प्रदेश चैप्टर का चेयरमैन हूँ। तो हॉस्पिटैलिटी, टूरिज्म और मैं एजुकेशन से भी जुड़ा हूँ, मेरे CBSE स्कूल्स भी हैं। इसके अलावा आप लोगों को कहीं भी ऐसा लगता है कि आप यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए या स्टूडेंट्स के लिए मैं कुछ कर सकूं या मेरी संस्था कुछ कर सके, तो आई एम वेरी मच अवेलेबल। आज इस फोरम पे आने का अवसर दिया, हम लोग यहाँ एक झारखंड की यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए बैठे हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मध्य प्रदेश झारखंड अलग अलग है, हम लोग बैठे हैं। हमारे साथ सबसे पहले प्रोफेसर राव साहब को मैंने सुना, तो उनको भी मैं वायदा करता हूँ इस माध्यम से कि हम लोग, हमारी पूरी एसोसिएशन, होटल एंड रेस्टोरेंट एसोसिएशन ऑफ वेस्टर्न इंडिया, FHRAI, हम लोग सब आपके साथ हैं सर। आप स्टूडेंट्स में अच्छा ध्यान दें, निवेश करें। हम कोशिश करेंगे कि उनको बहुत अच्छे तरीके से प्लेसमेंट्स हमारी इंडस्ट्री में दिए। मैं पर्यटन बोर्ड पे भी काफ़ी खासा मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन और इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहता है, और होटल मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट्स के अंदर हम लोग अपनी तरफ से लेक्चर्स भी देने जाते हैं, और हमारे पास पूरी टीम है ट्रेनिंग की। तो wherever you feel we can do something good for the university, and to the student. I promise a good, wholesome support to you, and I wish a very bright future to the students. एक अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी से आप निकल के जा रहे हैं. मेरी कामना है कि आप किसी दिन इस तरफ होंगे जैसे मैं बोल रहा हूँ, और ये बच्चे को आने वाली पीढ़ी सुन रही होगी. इसी कामना के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत साधुवाद, और यूनिवर्सिटी को शुक्रिया. राव साहब, आपको बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, साधुवाद है. प्रणाम करता हूँ आपको. नमस्कार
सर. मिस्टर सुमित सूरी जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आप जो आश्वासन दे दिए थे हम तो जरूर उसको ले लेंगे
जी.
और गेस्ट लेक्चर्स होते हैं और कोई आदर रूप से आपका सहायता लेने के वास्ते अब तो तैयार हैं. एंड डॉक्टर सुब्रत डे इसके पहले वो इंदौर में थे हमारे.
जी, मैं उन्हीं की वजह से, वो मेरे बेटे के प्रोफेसर रहे हैं सर.
अच्छा.
पढ़ाया भी है, और मेरा बेटा MBA करा है, तो वो उन्हीं के गाइडेंस में कभी उनके साथ उनके प्रोफेसर रहे. तो जैसा मैंने बताया कि गुरु की बहुत कीमत रहती है, तो उनके एक आग्रह पर मैं सब काम छोड़ के, क्योंकि मेरे बेटे के गुरु हैं, यानी मेरे लिए महत्वपूर्ण है सर. जितना मेरा योगदान है उसकी जिंदगी में, उतना उनका. भले कुछ दिन पढ़ाए, पर डे साहब की वजह से मेरे को जैसे ही बताया तो मैंने, नहीं, श्योरली आई विल बी देयर. और कोई और स्टूडेंट मेरे से बेनिफिट हो सके तो मैं कोशिश करूंगा सर कि जितना मदद बनेगा.
बिल्कुल सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर.
हाँ, थैंक यू सो मच सुमित सर कि आप इतने छोटे से आग्रह पे आप मतलब इतना समय आपने निकाला हम लोगों के लिए. तो फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं. नाउ आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट Miss Rita Sarangi, the HR head from Samadhan India Group, to please address the gathering.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Good afternoon, VC sir, Registrar sir, all the eminent faculties and my young achievers who will graduate in the year 2022. I guess there are a lot of students who have joined, right, ma'am? Shweta ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, yes.
Students.
तो मैं उन सारे स्टूडेंट्स को एक बार रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि अपना वीडियोस ऑन करें ताकि मैं उनको देख सकूं जो कल मेरे साथ खड़े होंगे, यहाँ पे मेरे साथ कलीग्स बन के खड़े होंगे, तो उनको मैं देखना चाहूंगी, उनके कॉन्फिडेंस देखना चाहूंगी. So I will definitely want all the students to switch on their videos. It will be definitely a great moment to see you all. क्योंकि आज आप लोग वहां बैठ के हमें सुन रहे हैं, कल हम आपको सुन रहे होंगे, आप कहीं पे कुछ बोल रहे होंगे कुछ अच्छा. तो और चेहरा छुपाने की जरूरत उन्हें होती है ना, आप जानते हैं किन्हें होती है, तो आप लोग को छुपाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. यू कैन ऑलवेज कम फाइन, स्विच ऑन द वीडियोस, है ना. ये तो ऐसी हो जाती है जैसे आप क्लास में बैठे हो और सर झुका के बैठे हो, तो सर उठा के चलो, बिकॉज यू आर द पीपल जो जिसके लिए योर पेरेंट्स आर प्राउड ऑफ, योर फैकल्टीज आर प्राउड ऑफ, और कल कंपनीज विल बी प्राउड ऑफ यू. So don't have to switch off your videos, switch it on. Yes, I can see many people, they've switched on, beautiful people. Vinita, Manohar, yes. Yeah, now I would like to talk to you all. So people, I am the HR manager in Samadhan. It's a Microsoft ERP partners company in Ranchi. Maybe the company is in Ranchi, but we have clients and customers all over the global, like Malaysia, Singapore, Mauritius. अच्छा लगता है ना सुनने के लिए जगहों का नाम, क्योंकि लगता है कि चलो यहाँ काम करेंगे तो जाने का मौका मिलेगा. बिल्कुल जाने का मौका मिलेगा. लेकिन we are a group of 100 people now, but we are planning of expanding our company, और लोगों को लेने का plans है, campus recruitment भी चल रहे हैं. But our company hires only those people जो कि अपने करियर में exponential growth लाना चाहेंगे. Those who have dreams to travel the world and stay near to their hometown, or at least in their hometown, and work for. And yes, those who can stretch infinity. Stretch level जो होता है यहाँ पे, stretch not stress. Stretch level जो होता है वो infinity होता है. Because जब हम लोगों को यहाँ पूछते हैं आपको stress है क्या, तो बोलते हैं stress है कि नहीं, सोचने के लिए टाइम नहीं है मैडम, सॉरी, हम लोग अभी स्ट्रेच कर रहे हैं काम पे. तो देखिए, लाइक आई वुड लाइक टू से यू ऑल कि फॉर एग्जांपल हम सबको पता है कि अगर हमको गाड़ी चलानी आ जाए तो हम कल को गाड़ी लेके रोड पे कॉन्फिडेंटली नहीं चलाएंगे. वी नीड अ लाइसेंस. तो आपके जो प्लेसमेंट डिपार्टमेंट है आपको जॉब देके लाइसेंस दे देगी कि आप अपना करियर को आगे ले लें. लाइसेंस मिल गया, गाड़ी चलानी आती है, लेकिन गाड़ी चाहिए कि नहीं, तो उसी तरह से वी विल गिव यू अ जॉब so that you can ride confidently your career. लेकिन आजकल मैंने देखा है जो भी कैंपस के लिए आते हैं, हम जाते हैं जब हैं, तो लोगों पर रहता है, मैम वी वांट टू ज्वाइन सम ब्रांड like Accenture, like Infosys, like TCS, this kind of brand हमारा ड्रीम है मैम, हम ब्रांड को ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं। अरे मेरे छोटे छोटे यारो दोस्तों, ब्रांड को नहीं, अपने ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बनो किसी कंपनी के लिए। ये ड्रीम रखो कि हम किसी कंपनी के लिए ब्रांड बने, हम कंपनी से नहीं पहचाने जाए, कंपनी हमसे पहचानी जाए, ऐसा कॉन्फिडेंस रखना चाहिए। और आप ये याद रखो कि अगर आपको किसी भी काम को करने में आपने शिद्दत दी है ना, तो उसमें आप कामयाब होके रहोगे। कभी भी मोदी जी ने बचपन में नहीं सोचा होगा कि मैं करियर अपना पॉलिटिशियन बन के या फिर प्रेसिडेंट या प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन के ही रहूंगा, लेकिन उन्होंने जो भी किया शिद्दत से किया, तो आज हम सब देख रहे हैं उनकी शिद्दत का नतीजा। तो इसीलिए कुछ भी करो शिद्दत से करो। And whenever you go for placement or interviews for any company, try to find what job role will suit you, so that अगर आपको इच्छा होगी ना, तो आप उसमें जरूर कामयाबी हासिल कर लोगे। अगर उस काम को करने में आपकी इच्छा नहीं होगी, जस्ट फॉर सम बग्स और सम पेपर मनी के लिए आप मत करो उस काम को। दैट विल नॉट गिव यू दैट किक। जब सलमान खान की मूवी देखी थी ना, वो किक चाहिए आपको, तो इसीलिए काम वही करो जो आपको किक दे। ठीक है, कंपनी से किक होने की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, आपका करियर में किक होने की बात कर रहे हैं हम। तो और हम सबसे यही कहेंगे, ज्यादा तो नहीं टाइम है, लेकिन ये जरूर कहेंगे कि एक मूवी का डायलॉग था, उसको हमेशा दिमाग में रखना। बहुत पुरानी मूवी है, आप लोग के शायद पैदा भी नहीं हुए होंगे तब की मूवी है, बट आई एम अ वेरी फिल्मी काइंड ऑफ पर्सन, सो आई वुड डेफिनेटली लाइक टू से दिस कि खुद ही को करो बुलंद इतना कि हर रजे से पहले खुदा तुमसे पूछे कि बता तेरी रजा क्या है। थैंक यू पीपल, thank you all.
Thank you so much Rita ma'am, it was very well explained and I think कि बस बहुत सारे students ने relate भी किया होगा इसके साथ, and has rightly been pointed by you कि अपने passion को follow करने की कोशिश करें, पैसे के पीछे मत भागे। तो
श्वेता मैम,
yes ma'am,
yes मैम, मैं आजकल के बच्चों को एक छोटी सी पंच लाइन बोलना चाहूंगी कि बच्चे आजकल काफी ब्रांडेड चीजें चाहते हैं, ब्रांडेड कपड़े, ब्रांडेड जूते, सब ब्रांडेड जूते आपके पैर में हो ये जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन आपके फुटस्टेप्स जो है वो राइट डायरेक्शन में होना चाहिए, ये जरूरी है। ब्रांडेड जूते ना भी हो तभी कोई बात नहीं, फुटस्टेप्स राइट डायरेक्शन में लो, आप दुनिया के लिए ब्रांड बन जाओगे। थैंक यू।
very nice quotation ma'am, very nice quotation, and now the moment has come, and before we continue with the rest of the guests that we are having, they will also continue to have an interaction with the students. Before we continue, we will come together for the launch of the placement brochure of 2022. So this is the moment that all the guests, all the students, everyone is waiting for. So जिस चीज के लिए हम लोग, जिस लम्हे के लिए, जिस वक्त के लिए वेट कर रहे थे, वो आ गया है। So definitely I would request our technical team to kindly share the placement brochure 2022. We all are waiting to get a glimpse of that. Please. Thank you so much. Now I would invite the special guests who have been the alumni of this ICFA University, Jharkhand. Firstly, I would like to invite Mrs. Simran Verma from Tech Mahindra, Executive Assistant to CEO and MD Pune. I hope Simran, you are with us.
Hey, hi ma'am. I'm there.
So good to see you after such a long time.
Is my camera on or not?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, cannot start video. It's actually free. Let me try it again. Let me join again if you have some time.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
Simran, take your time. So we will move to the next guest. I would request Mr. Chandan Kumar, the key account executive, Hindustan Unilever, who is also an alumni of ICFA University, to please address the gathering.
Hi everyone. Thanks for inviting me in this meeting. Actually, I am
चिंतन जी आपका वीडियो एक बार ऑन कर सकते हैं?
definitely sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Actually, sir, I have my another meeting with my company by 4 p.m. So I don't give you much time.
No
So I
issue at
want
all.
to.
No issue at all. Yeah.
Actually, I am a student of 1416 batch MBA. I've started my career in Marico, and after that I joined Hindustan Unilever 2 months back. Currently, I'm working as a key account executive. Basically, it's a totally sales job. And जैसा कि सुमित सर ने बताया था कि इनवाइट किया था मुझे, और उन्होंने बोला है, जैसा उन्होंने मुझे बताया था कि कोई भी अगर अपॉर्चुनिटीज आती है आपके कंपनीज में, तो डेफिनेटली हमारे जो करेंट स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनके लिए फीडबैक मींस उनके लिए कोई भी लिंक देना है जॉब के लिए, प्लेसमेंट के लिए, तो मैं उसमें हेल्प करूंगा. एंड ऑल्सो आई विल ट्राई टू गिव सम फ्रेंड्स एंड गिव फेवर टू द स्टूडेंट्स फॉर एनी इंटर्नशिप इन माय कंपनी. जिनको भी सपोर्ट लगेगा काइंडली मुझसे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं सुमित सर के थ्रू. जितना हो सकता है मैं अपने कंपनी में उनको समर इंटर्नशिप के लिए मैं प्रेफर करूंगा, और उम्मीद है कि लोग अच्छा करेंगे. और इक्फा एक बहुत अच्छी कॉलेज है जहाँ से मैं निकला हूँ, और यहाँ के स्टूडेंट भी का फ्यूचर भी बहुत ब्राइट है, क्योंकि यहाँ के जो भी प्रोफेसर्स हैं उन सारे वेल फ्रेंड प्रोफेसर्स हैं. सो सर एक्चुअली मैं यहीं पे सर अपने आप को एंड करता हूँ, अपने जो भी मैं बोल रहा हूँ उसको एंड करता हूँ सर. और मैं अभी यहाँ से लीव कर रहा हूँ सर. एक्चुअली मेरा मीटिंग वहाँ शुरू होने वाला, बार कॉल्स आ रहे हैं. सॉरी फॉर इनकन्वीनियंस.
No, thank you so much, Chandan. And no, sort of with a short notice you joined us. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Chandan, for joining. Now I would request Mr. Abhinav Sinha, the Operations Executive Extra Marks, to please address the gathering. I suppose Abhinav was with us a short while ago. Might be that he has faced some technical issue. So we will. I would again hand over the session to Simran. Simran.
Yes, ma'am. I'm there.
Yes, Simran. Please go ahead.
I hope I'm visible as well as audible, right?
Yes. Sure.
By the way, thank you for calling me here, and thanks Sumit sir, thanks VC sir for all the learnings that you have kind of showered on me throughout my 3 years of time in ICFA University, Jharkhand. I definitely kind of have learned a lot from there, and whatever I am today, I would owe it to the university, of course. So now coming down to the suggestion that I would give to the students of ICFA University, Jharkhand for placement, I would say there are always 3 facets to placement when it comes. The first one is role, the second is brand, and the third is package. And I would like to kind of sequence it in that way only. The first thing is role. Try and make sure that what you want to achieve in next 5 years, and analyze whether that role that you are getting today is aligning with that aspiration of yours or not. The second thing is brand. I mean, there are people who say that brand doesn't matter, but in my opinion, it does. It definitely does. Because if you are with good, brand, I'm not saying that startups are not good. They are definitely going to give you a ownership, extreme ownership, I would say rather. But brands have some legacy. They have got good, nurturing power, training sessions that you will get will be great. So always try to focus on 2 things, that is role and brand. Package will definitely come later on in your career. It doesn't matter. Today, even if you are getting 1 lakh, that doesn't matter. If you're getting 10 lakhs, doesn't matter. make sure that whatever you're trying to achieve in the next 5 years, that should bring you great package. In my, speaking from my experience, that what I have achieved from, pursuing MBA or doing a BCom graduate course from ICFI University, Jharkhand, I learned a lot. My 3 best qualities would be hungry to learn, because the world we are living in right now, it's VUCA world. We always talk that every day is a new day, right? So focus on things like how you can build yourself to learn and unlearn every day, acquire new skills every day, whether it is on a personal level or is it in a professional level. So make sure you do that. Keep yourself, keep yourself very balanced. And from placement point of view, I will definitely try to make sure that I'm not giving any as such, proper confirmation, because I'm not in the authority to do so, but definitely I'll try to push and get something from my organization as well. So yeah.
Thanks a lot, Simran.
Thanks.
And nice to see you back, after nearly 3 years. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Nearly
Almost
3 years. 3 years. So please convey my regards to Mr. C.P. Gurnani.
C.P. Gurnani, sir, yes.
Mr. Gurnani and myself, we were colleagues in HCL Technologies. Please convey to him and he remembers. Thanks.
Right.
Thank you so much, Simran, for connecting with us, and it's always good to hear from you.
Pleasure is mine, ma'am.
Next, I would like to call Mr. Kaushal Singh, the Territory Manager, Hero MotoCorp, Bhubaneswar, to please address the gathering.
Hi everyone, good evening, Professor Rao, good evening all the faculty members of this team. To my juniors, just one thing, be persistent with whatever you are doing. No job is small, no job is big. As a BTech pressure into this entire ecosystem, whatever I've learned from experience. When I joined Mahindra and Mahindra on an off-roll basis 6 years back, I was a fresher too. But yes, I was persistent कि मेरे को काम तो करना है, मुझे सीखना तो है. Be persistent, whatever you are doing, and trust me, everyone will succeed. Everyone will succeed. I've seen people who have joined with me from better colleges than what I was from, but still, I am still in a much better position compared to them. So, touch wood. So that's my first suggestion to my juniors and whoever getting graduated from the university. One more thing, take calls in your life, professional life. It's not necessary. From my experience, I'm saying you stick to what the others are being doing. If someone is with a current organization for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it doesn't mean that you have to do the same. Yes, hopping too much is not good. That's true. Told earlier by some of our senior delegates also. But what important is that you take good calls at good time, and don't hesitate in taking calls. If you're doing your job honestly, take your calls and you will succeed. That's my free advice to all the students graduating or post graduating this year. Before joining Hero MotoCorp, I worked with 2 more brands. One is an MNC, that is Daimler India Commercial Vehicles, and Mahindra and Mahindra also, both on an off-roll as well as an on-roll basis. And Professor Rao, just to update you, from tomorrow onwards, the brand will be changed against my name, right? So one more brand would be added in our placement list. That I am assuring you, right? That is all about from my side. I am not a very big Gyani to give Gyan. Just 2 basic things I have told: be persistent, do your job, and take calls. Don't hesitate in taking calls. That's the best advice I can give. All the best to all my juniors over there, and thank you to all the faculty members, Professor Rao, and all the senior delegates present over here. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Kaushik, and we are proud of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kaushal, for giving your inputs. And definitely, I think the students will take a clue from your humble attitude. So thank you so much for joining. Next,
My
I
pleasure,
would,
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Mr. Mayank Bajpayee ji. He joined a short while. He was having a meeting, so he couldn't join. So right now he is with us. So I would like to welcome Mr. Mayank Bajpayee ji, the HR and plant head, Panasonic Energy India Limited and Indore. And I would like to invite him to address the gathering. Mayank ji, please address the gathering. Mr. Mayank Bajpayee, I suppose your video and your audio both are mute. Please kindly unmute, sir, and then you can address the gathering.
Maybe he is facing some net problem. That is the reason. So,
yes, sir. I think Mayank sir is having some technical issues, so we will wait for him. And we will move to our next guest, that is Mr. Shubham Kumar, the developer TransUnion Global Technology Center, Pune. Mr. Shubham, I hope you are with us. Please address the gathering.
ma'am, he got some internet issues and it is in an hang mode. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are.
I think Mr. Mayank has joined back.
Yes, sir. Sir, we are able to see Mr. Mayank, but the voice problem is still there, sir. I think he is facing some technical issues, sir.
Sir, but your video is there. You can watch face earlier. Yeah. So please unmute yourself, sir. Yeah, please speak, sir, please. So Vajpayee sir is here to address.
No, I think he is unmuted. There is some technical issues, madam.
Some technical issues are there.
You can move to the next one till he connects to us.
Vajpayee sir, your voice is not audible here. Some technical issues. Yeah. Yeah. Please, sir. Please, sir. He suggested that he is joining through mobile. So meanwhile, we can continue, ma'am.
So we will now be having the question answer session, sir. So shall we begin that question answer session, or we should wait for Mayank sir to address the gathering? After that, we will begin the question answer session.
He will be shortly. He is joining through his mobile phone. So if VC sir allows, then in that condition.
Oh, yes. By all means.
So please, we will go for the question answers from the student end. Meanwhile.
Yes, sir. We will shortly move to the question answer session. And meanwhile, if Vajpayee sir gets the connectivity, we will have a session from him. We will have an interactive session with him. So I would now request the students to kindly come up with the queries, with the doubts, and with the questions that they are having in their mind, since the experts from the corporate and the industry are with us today in this very session. So you can go with your queries, doubts, and the questions that you are having in your mind. You can come one by one and you can ask the questions. And the students who are facing the difficulty or any technical issues, you can also type your question in the chat box. So we can take up the questions in this particular session itself. If you type it in the chat box, we will have the question answer session with the experts.
Yeah, any students?
Indrani,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
suppose you are, yes, Indrani, go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm
Can you
Indrani
please,
Roy, and I'm doing
Indrani, please
MBA
switch on your
Indrani,
camera.
Indrani, kindly switch on your camera, please.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay?
Actually, I'm having some issue with my mobile camera.
Okay. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, ma'am. It's really very nice that we got an opportunity to listen from industry experts like you all. I have several questions.
No, Indrani, why don't you introduce yourself? You are an MBA student, am I right? MBA
Yes.
student of third semester?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think start with that. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. I want to ask that what are the tips you can give to us who wants to build their future in HR domain?
Indrani, is this question is specific to any corporate so that they can answer? It is a common question.
Yes, because it's a common question. I want an answer only.
Maybe Vishal sir, if Vishal sir can address it, I request Vishal sir to kindly address this question.
Sure, I'll take that one. So, Indrani, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Indrani, if you want to pursue your career in HR field, you need to first understand this, that HR is not all about recruitment and hiring. Many a times when we go for campus and we hire for this particular role, what we see that students, when we ask them that what they understand by this HR and the role, so they come up with such kind of feedback like it's about recruiting and hiring. So it's not all about that. It's more to do with people development, people talent management, and it's more to do with the domain knowledge. So one should be very much familiar with the subject, because it's a very, I would say, specialized kind of role which requires you to know the laws, the acts, and you need to ensure that when questions are asked related to your domain knowledge, you should know about it and should answer. It should not happen that if you're asked about minimum wage or maybe maternity act or maybe any factory related act, you should be able to answer that, and one should really prepare for that. One should browse all the notebooks which you have gone through and revise it once again before sitting for any interview if you are appearing for an HR role, because the organization would definitely like to know your knowledge in terms of how you have understood this particular subject altogether, and how much you can contribute in terms of once you are hired for this role. So very important that you should revise your subject, your chapter very well, and then only go for if you are applying for such kind of specialized role. In a similar way, if you are going for any operations role, it requires more about how well you are prepared to handle different kind of situations, and whether you have that kind of, because when we interview candidates, it hardly lasts for 30 to 45 minutes, but it's very difficult to actually analyze a person, right? So we try to put him into different kind of situations and then try to understand whether that person is ready for this role or not. But for HR, as you asked, it's all about your understanding and knowledge about the subject. Hope I have
Definitely, sir.
answered you.
Yes, sir. And sir, as you are also an interviewer, so you have taken so many interviews. So as per you, you want elaborated answer, or it should be short, crisp, and some contentful? Are you check that that particular person have some sort of knowledge upon that particular thing? What you check?
Right. So first of all, when any organization go for the campus, right, they have got limited time in their hand, and they would look for answers to the point kind of answers, and questions which require some kind of elaboration, which require some kind of examples to be added. We definitely want the candidate to reply in the same manner. But if I ask you about maybe what do you understand by maternity act, so you should be able to answer that, right? And it should be to the point. What's the contribution of PF to or like organization contribution and the employee contribution? So you should be able to answer it without elaborating it much, because it's a simple question, direct question, and it should be answered accordingly. Few of the questions which requires you to answer in detail with some example, you should do that. But try to limit your words, sentences, so that it becomes very easy for the interviewers to understand about your knowledge, and it also helps them to complete the entire process in time.
Okay,
Indrani,
sir.
are you having any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. So sometimes it might happen, and it happens many a times that our interview was good. We answered most of the question asked by the interviewer, and after all these things, we didn't get selected. So, as per you, what could be the reason behind this?
Nice one. So it happens with a lot of us, right? When we also sat for placement and we did not get select for any organization where our interview went very well. So there are two things to look at it. First thing is that whether that organization is taking a cumulative score or not. We check both GD and PI score. Many organizations, they just go with the PI kind of score, and then they give the offer letters to the candidate who they feel their organization and the role. Many times we think that whatever answers that I have given, right, is the best one. And most of the time, interviewers will not tell you whether you're saying a right answer or you're going on a wrong track. They will listen to your answer properly without interrupting you, and then they will move to another set of questions. So you might think that the answer that you have given is the right one, but maybe, I'm not saying that you are wrong, but maybe they might be looking for a different answer, or their expectation was much higher than what you have answered. So it might happen that from my point of view, from as a interview, I think that I have given the best interview and I've answered all the questions. But the way I answered, my body language, uh, the examples that I gave, so all those things are taken into consideration. And then there is a panel. There are 3-4 people who sit over there, and they share their viewpoint about the candidate, right? So
Yes,
suppose
sir.
there are four in the panel, right, and one person has asked you any question, and you look at that person and you have answered. Maybe you answered appropriately well, but your eye movement, your body language was not appropriate. You might have looked only at that person who has asked you, and you ignored the other 3 panel members, right? So it might happen without you noticing it. They will make a note of this, and you will score less over there. So whenever you're sitting for an interview and there are 4-5 members in the panel, you need to make eye contact with each and every member while answering. You should not address it to one person who has asked the question. It's a disrespect to the other panel members. So we need to keep this in mind. And it might happen at times that your interview might have gone the best, but the role that they are coming with, the role that requires, it might require a kind of personality which you are not carrying, right? And it's absolutely okay, right? If you did not get select for any of the organization in spite of your interview going the best, you just need to do an introspection and understand that what were the points where you could have answered much properly or in a better way or in a different way, and take learning from it, and then sit with more and high kind of I would say confidence for the next company and crack it. No need to worry.
Yes,
At times, being the best, I might not be suitable for that particular organization or for that particular role. So they might have not selected me. It's completely okay. Nothing to worry about
definitely,
it.
sir.
And need not think much about it. Interview
Yes, sir.
that you did not crack, it's okay. Prepare for the next one and forget whatever has happened in the last one. But do take learnings from it.
Okay, sir. So, as you have told about eye contact, I want
Yeah.
to share one thing that I saw some videos of IS interviews. So, in that, one interviewer was saying that when one interviewer asking some questions to you, you must answer to them while looking at their eyes only, because I think on eye contact, people have different opinions about eye contact. So he said that if you are moving your eyes to some other person, it will shift your trust to some another person, so you must not do that. So I'm very confused, like whom to look at.
Now you check out various videos, you'll find different kind of
Yes, sir.
suggestions coming in. But my point of thought on this is that when there's a panel, right? And it's not that like that person who has asked you is only listening to your answer. The other 3 members or 4 members are also listening to you, right? It's not
Okay,
that
sir.
the person who has asked you is only focusing on what you're saying. The other 3 or 4 members who are part of that panel would also listen to you very carefully, right? So it's
Yes,
very
sir.
important when you start giving a reply or an answer to the question that has been asked to you. First, you look at into the eye of the person who has asked you that question, and then gradually you look and try to grab right attention
Yes, sir.
and appreciation of the other members also. It's not suggestible that the person you have asked, you did not look at him and you start looking from the other corner and then you come to him. It's not suggestible. You should first answer the person who has asked you, and then your eye. It's why I'm saying this is that you are giving equal respect to each and every member in that panel. And there might be different videos. I'm not saying that they are wrong or right. My point of view I'm sharing with you that in any when we go for any presentation also, right, we do not look
Yes,
only
sir.
at the faculty members, but we look at all the students who are sitting in that particular room or hall. Whenever you see any presentation happening, if there are n numbers of people, you need to make eye contact with them. When you are in a group discussion, you should not look at the panel, rather you should look into the eyes of all the participating batchmates, because you are discussing the topic with them. You're not discussing the topic with the panel members over there. So it's a suggestion. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's nothing right or wrong. But my point of view is that one should try to make eye contact with all the panel members and should try to answer in the best possible way.
I
Thank you,
hope,
sir.
Indrani, you got the answer of your question.
Yes,
And,
ma'am. It
and
was very nice talking to you, sir.
thank you so much, Vishal sir, for giving your inputs. Actually, we are having a shortage of time, and such sessions are going to happen in future also. And I would request the guests to please cooperate and give the inputs to the students, because in future also we will require your help.
Ma'am, I just want to add to this.
Yes, sir.
All the
Please
HR
go ahead.
professionals who came from the corporate, they have agreed to give exclusive sessions for our students. So means such question answers and everything we will have with our student in due course, definitely. So whosoever has not asked question, don't worry, they will also get a chance in coming days, and directly they can interact with the corporate peoples. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sumit sir.
No,
That was...
apart from that, one initiative we are planning to do. Of course, I mentioned this to our students, and also I'm mentioning to this our corporate and HR managers. What we are thinking is, after each campus selection, we would like to have an interaction with our students, asking them like how your selection process has gone through, how your GDs have gone through, how your PIs have gone through, what is that you are asked and what is that you answered, and how you can improve on that. Because sometimes the memory is very short, and also there is difference between a self-perception and perception of the interviewer. Because everywhere we have seen, every student will feel that, oh, I have done the best, but ultimately, like in fact, that his best may not be the best for the kind of exam into that. I think that is something we are just trying to sort of.
Rao, I would like to tell you that today itself we had a such session with the students with the final.
Very good, very good, very good. I think
and,
that's something, so we plan to do that for every these things, so that it's an introspection session, sort of, so that at least we should know, yes, what are the areas or avenues for me to improve myself. I think that's what we are doing. So good.
So thank you all, and that was such a nice and interactive session, and it is always good to have such interactive sessions. So we will be planning, as rightly said by Rao sir also, that we will be planning for such sessions in future also, and definitely the students, all your queries will be answered in the future upcoming sessions. So we are coming to the end of this program. I would like to request our registrar, Professor Arvind Kumar sir, to kindly propose the vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Respected VC sir, our galaxy of guest of honors, Mr. Ishu Kumar, Mr. Vishal Kumar Sinha, Mr. Mayank Bajpayee, Mr. Sumit Suri, and Ms. Rita Sarangi, and our special guest and our alumni, Mr. Abhinav Sinha, Mr. Kaushal Singh, Mr. Chandan Kumar, and Ms. Simran Verma. ICFA University Jharkhand is grateful to you all for your valuable time and valuable suggestions to our final year students about how to make decisions in their lives in choosing a career, choosing a brand, and choosing a job. As you all have motivated our students, thank you very much for that. And I think the valuable suggestions and inputs which you all have given to our students will imbibe them, practice them, and definitely will perform very well in the upcoming interviews and selections. And we will have much more sessions in future. And on behalf of ICFA University Jharkhand, I thank you all for all the cooperation and time we have received. And we hope we together can bring a lot of change in the society and a lot of change in the mindset of passing out students. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And before we end this session, I request all the participants in this session to kindly switch on their video so that we can have a photograph. I request all the students to kindly switch on their video. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. With this, we take your leave, and we'll be looking forward to have such more interactive sessions with the students, and we'll look forward to active participation and cooperation from all of you. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Rita. Thank you all of you for joining.
Thank you so